Who is the most handsome BTS member according to themselves? In the eyes of ARMY, all 7 members obviously have an extraordinary, flawless visual charm. But when asked lightheartedly or in official interviews, each member's answer regarding the handsome standard in their group turned out to be varied and often hilarious. Some answered honestly, full of praise, but there were also those who used the moment to confidently compliment themselves. Curious about how the visual map looks according to the members themselves? Come on, let's discuss their unique choices one by one in a relaxed way. Number 7. Jungkook, choosing Taehyung. As the youngest member who grew up and spent most of his teenage years with the older members in the group, Jungkook has a very unique and interesting perspective on who the most charming figure is in his own group. On various casual occasions, as well as media interviews, the golden maknae's choice quite consistently often falls on V, or Kim Taehyung. The figure of V himself is indeed no stranger to the global entertainment industry, because his name almost always sits at the top tier of the list of the world's most handsome men, according to various international media and renowned lifestyle magazines. Jungkook publicly and frequently expresses his admiration for how V can transition so smoothly from an innocent and friendly facial expression when offstage into a figure who is very sharp, intense, and full of charisma when the stage lights turn on. These facial features are indeed quite unique, with a sharp and symmetrical jawline, a tall and distinctive high nose bridge, as well as an expressive monolid eye shape that is capable of conveying various emotions just through a gaze. This combination of physical features makes V's appearance often evaluated by fans, as well as media viewers, like a fictional character emerging straight from the pages of a comic or anime. In the world of modern photography, videography, and cinematography, a facial structure with sharp lines and symmetrical proportions like V's is often called a type of face that is very camera-friendly or greatly liked by the camera lens. This term refers to a visual phenomenon where the angles of someone's face continue to look balanced, proportional, and aesthetic from whichever direction the shot is taken, whether from the front angle, side, or during low lighting. Jungkook, who is known to deeply enjoy the world of videography, editing, and creative photography, certainly fully understands how attractive these visual structure is when captured by the camera lens. Beyond the aesthetic aspect, the very close emotional relationship between Jungkook and V, who often spend their free time together, makes this evaluation feel much warmer, more honest, and authentic. Jungkook's choice proves that V's charm is not only liked by millions of fans around the world, but is also genuinely recognized by his own teammate. Number 6. RM. Choosing Jin. As the captain and leader of the group BTS, who is known to be broad-minded, intelligent, and always possesses deep thinking, RM turns out to have a very clear and consistent visual standard and perspective in evaluating his members. On several official interview occasions, as well as casual conversations backstage, RM repeatedly and honestly acknowledged that Jin has very symmetrical facial proportions that fully meet South Korea's classic handsome standards. An acknowledgement coming from someone like RM certainly carries its own weight and interesting perspective to examine, considering RM is a figure who is very observant, analytical, and always views everything based on a mature context. The iconic nickname Worldwide Handsome, attached tightly to Jin, is indeed not just a one-sided claim from the oldest member or mere internal joking, because RM himself frequently emphasizes how disciplined and professional Jin is in maintaining his physical appearance and aura before the public. In a global entertainment industry that moves very fast, society's standards and preferences regarding handsomeness frequently shift following fashion trends or pop culture that happens to be rising. Nevertheless, a facial shape structure that possesses a high level of symmetry like Jin's is scientifically and psychologically indeed inclined to be rated as more calming, harmonious, and attractive by the human eye in general, without being tied down by the limitations of specific era trends. RM's decision to point to Jin as the most handsome member reflects a form of objective recognition toward the visual excellence possessed by the oldest member in their group. RM sees that Jin's presence, with a clean, neat, and proportional facial line, provides a very strong visual balance for the group as a whole when they stand on stage or before international media cameras. The evaluation from the leader further reinforces that Jin's physical appeal is not only entertainment for fans through his unique humor, but also an aesthetic asset that is highly recognized and valued by his own coworkers. Number 5. Suga, Choosing Jin. Behind his personality that is known to be very calm, cool, rational, and always speaks directly to the point without beating around the bush pleasantries, Suga turns out to have a very honest and objective evaluation when it comes to the topic of his groupmates' visuals. Suga, without hesitation, several times mentioned Jin's name as the member who possesses the most handsome face among them all. As the figure who has known Jin the longest since the early days of training, or trainee, before the group officially made their debut, Suga understands very well how the quality of Jin's physical appearance has never faded or declined even a bit over time. This honest acknowledgement coming out of Suga's mouth feels extremely valuable and meaningful for fans because everyone knows that Suga is not the type of person who likes to throw out sweet compliments or exaggerated words if he does not truly believe it in his heart. Jin's handsomeness in Suga's eyes is a balanced combination between a very proportional face shape and an aura of calmness that is constantly radiated by the oldest brother. From the perspective of media visual production and stage setup, a face with clarity of natural features as well as clean facial lines like Jin's greatly facilitates technical teams in arranging lighting, whether during magazine photo shoots, television interviews, or high-resolution music video shoots. It is no wonder that Suga, who always focuses on work quality and production aesthetic details, also recognizes that Jin's visual presence contributes greatly in supporting BTS's visual appeal thoroughly. This acknowledgement from Suga proves that Jin's charm is not just captivating on screen or promotional photos that have gone through an editing process, but is also very real and consistent in daily life in the eyes of his colleague. Number 4. Jhope chooses Jin. This figure who provides positive energy, acts as the main choreographer, and serves as the dance captain in BTS, always has a very sweet, warm, and attentive way of showing appreciation to his members. When conversations turn toward the standard of visuals and handsome looks within their group, Jhope's choice consistently and firmly falls upon the eldest member, Kim Sok-jin, affectionately known as Jin. Jhope never hesitates to express his deep admiration for the form of Jin's handsome looks, which he considers extremely stable, consistent, and never wavering in the slightest under various conditions and situations. Whether when they have just woken up in the morning without a single touch of facial makeup, while resting in exhausting waiting rooms amidst a packed shooting schedule, or after finishing a grand, long-duration concert with very energetic, complex, and sweat-draining dance moves. Jhope assesses that Jin's handsome aura remains radiating very clearly and charmingly. Jhope frequently notices small details of his older brother's physical features that average viewers or the general public might rarely realize. Starting from the texture of Jin's skin, which appears very clean, healthy, and well cared for, the full and unique shape of his lower lip, to the symmetrical proportions of his jawline and his wide shoulder size, which gives the impression of a dignified, proportional, yet still very elegant body. In the world of performing arts, media industries, and modern stage aesthetics, having a member with such a high level of physical appearance consistency like Jin represents a huge advantage and asset for a global idol group. This is because a consistent appearance heavily assists in keeping the group's visual image looking neat, mature, attractive, and professional in the eyes of the public, international media camera lenses, and entertainment critics alike. As the person acting as the movement director and internal lead choreographer in BTS, J-Hope deeply understands how beautiful the silhouette of Jin's body and facial expressions are when executed precisely under grand, dynamic, and colorful stage lighting. Jin's very friendly, warm personality, combined with his frequent playful jokes or classic dad jokes, sometimes causes the public or casual viewers to forget just how serious and extraordinary the natural visual advantages owned by this man born in 1992 actually are. However, J-Hope is always ready to be the first person to remind the public, mass media, and every army across the world that Jin is the living definition of classic handsome looks whose authenticity needs no doubt. This appreciation coming sincerely from J-Hope shows how high the level of mutual respect, admiration, and support among members is toward each other's physical potential and advantages. In J-Hope's eyes, Jin is not merely an eldest brother figure who is fun to joke around with or a shoulder to lean on when tired, but also represents the main visual standard within the group, who always succeeds in captivating and hypnotizing anyone who sees him directly in the real world or through television screens. If we observe more deeply how Jin's visual structure works on the performance panggung, his appearance style never looks excessive, tacky, or forced. The character of Jin's facial lines possesses a very flexible and dynamic natural attraction, allowing him to shift roles from a sweet, gentle, and friendly concept to a very intense, sharp, and charismatic one, with just a slight change in eye gaze, hairstyling, or a subtle lip movement. J-Hope really likes and admires this aspect because in every song choreography they perform on stage, Jin is able to deliver a visual transition that is very smooth, balanced, and refreshing to the audience's eyes. Furthermore, J-Hope also frequently mentions that the positive aura and warmth radiated by Jin when he smiles is one of the strongest visual elements capable of melting away awkward or tense atmospheres backstage. When the team is under pressure from extremely busy, exhausting, and emotionally draining work schedules, Jin's presence with his calm, handsome looks and warm smile often becomes a remedy for the other members' fatigue. This aspect of warmth and personality makes the criteria for handsome looks, in J-Hope's eyes, extend far beyond how perfect someone's nose, eyes, or lips are, focusing instead on how those physical handsome looks blend harmoniously with the kindness of heart, warmth, and humility possessed by the owner of that face. J-Hope sees that Jin's handsome looks are a complete package, combining extraordinary physical beauty with a personality character that is deeply enjoyable, humorous, and comforting to everyone around him. This is what makes J-Hope's praise of Jin always feel so genuine, profound, and never sounding like mere empty pleasantries or sweet words meant solely for media content creation needs. J-Hope's assessment provides a very clear picture to all of us that true handsome looks within an idol group do not merely function as eye candy in front of cameras, but also as a source of inspiration, confidence, and shared pride that mutually reinforces family bonds among members throughout their long career journey. Going even further, J-Hope observes how Jin always maintains his body posture exceptionally well, whether standing on stage or walking the red carpet at prestigious award ceremonies. A dignified posture combined with Jin's above-average shoulder width creates a very masculine and elegant visual silhouette in any outfit, ranging from custom-tailored formal suits designed by famous designers to everyday casual clothes like t-shirts and casual jackets. J-hope, who possesses high sensitivity toward the aesthetics of movement and stage presence, sees that Jin's presence in the front row or center of a formation always provides a strong and solid visual anchor for the group. When the spotlight falls on Jin, his handsome aura draws the audience's attention instantly without needing exaggerated movements or forced expressions. This naturalness is what J-hope considers the main secret behind why Jin's handsome looks feel so timeless and never boring to look at. Beyond physical and stage aspects, J-hope also deeply appreciates how Jin uses his handsome looks wisely, without showing even the slightest hint of an arrogant attitude. Jin instead frequently uses his own handsome looks as lighthearted material for humor, to break silences, thaw stiff atmospheres during interviews with foreign media, or simply bring a smile to the other members in the middle of exhaustion. The ability to not take oneself too seriously, despite having a face so heavily worshipped by millions of people, is a very rare character quality of high value in J-hope's eyes. J-hope realizes that popularity and praise over physical appearance could easily make someone arrogant, but Jin remains an eldest brother who is humble, willing to listen to input from younger members, and always ready to cook food or show small gestures of care to his younger brothers in the group. This complete combination of near-perfect physical aesthetics, self-care discipline, high work professionalism, and deep humility is what makes J-hope's assessment of Jin feel so complete and comprehensive. J-hope's choice of Jin is not merely an answer to the question of who was the most handsome, but a form of respect and gratitude from a younger brother and colleague for the dedication, warmth, and timeless charm continuously radiated by the eldest member for the glory and harmony of their group together. Number 3, Jimin chooses 3 members, Jin, V, Jungkook. When asked the question regarding who the most handsome member figure in the group is, while only being allowed to pick a single name, Jimin would likely experience an extraordinary level of difficulty because he is a person who is deeply affectionate, sensitive, perceptive, and always tries to appreciate the uniqueness and charm of each of his brothers in BTS. On various variety show occasions, backstage casual interviews, or live broadcasts with fans on social media, Jimin uniquely and consistently chooses to give a wholesale answer by mentioning 3 names at once: Jinhyung, Taehyung or V, and Jungkook. Jimin's decision to mention these 3 names is actually not without strong reasoning or merely a diplomatic answer, but rather reflects how deep Jimin's understanding and sensitivity are toward the diversity of visual aesthetics possessed by each of these members. When speaking about Jinhyung, Jimin always praises with deep respect and admiration how the eldest brother possesses a facial structure that is very neat, clean, symmetrical, and radiates a classic handsome impression that is very graceful, much like a prince from a kingdom in a fairy tale book. Jimin frequently emphasizes that Jin's handsome looks are the kind of handsome looks that are deeply comforting, stable, and never fail to make anyone who looks at him feel instantly amazed. Yet, at the same time, Jimin's aesthetic attention and appreciation cannot be separated from the facial lines of V, or Kim Taehyung, which are extremely sharp, unique, artistic, of high artistic value, and possess a visual charm that is so intense, magical, and hypnotizing in front of magazine photo shoot cameras or global concert stage performances. Jimin admires how V is capable of changing the mood and aura around him with just a slight change in eye expression or jaw position. Not stopping there, Jimin also constantly conveys immense admiration and pride regarding the physical growth and handsome looks of the youngest brother, Jungkook, whom he assesses as looking increasingly mature, masculine, dignified, and highly charismatic day by day, with an athletic body proportion that is ideal in the eyes of modern society. This wholesale choice made by Jimin displays how beautiful, sweet, and tight the emotional bonds shared among BTS members truly are, where they do not view visual competition as something that separates them or triggers social jealousy, but rather as a diverse range of natural charm that perfectly complement one another within the group. They are not merely work colleagues united by commercial entertainment industry contracts, but have transformed into a close family that sincerely admires each other's physical advantages, artistic talents, and personality characters without any jealousy or hidden rivalry in the slightest. Looking at this from the perspective of human relations psychology and group dynamics, the habit of appreciating and praising physical appearances and advantages of close friends openly in front of the public can produce a massive impact in strengthening individual self-confidence and solidifying emotional bonds within a work group or social community. Therefore, it is completely natural, logical, and wise for Jimin to choose a safe route by mentioning 3 names at once, rather than restricting his assessment to just one person, which could potentially provoke playful teasing or uncomfortable feelings among members. This step taken by Jimin also demonstrates how perceptive, mature, and wise he is in guarding the feelings of everyone around him. Jimin knows full well that each member brings different visual colors, stage auras, and physical characters, such that they cannot be directly compared using a single narrow standard or benchmark.
Jin's handsome looks lie in his timeless simplicity, cleanliness, and classic neatness. V's handsome looks lie in his uniqueness, sharp jawline, and intense artistic aura, while Jungkook's handsome looks lie in a unique combination of youth energy, athletic physical strength, and versatile charisma on stage. By embracing and acknowledging all 3 types of handsome looks in one complete answer, Jimin indirectly provides a valuable lesson to all viewers and ARMY worldwide that beauty and handsome looks have many forms, colors, and broad dimensions. We do not need to force ourselves to debate who is superior among the best, because when the 3 are united in the same group, the final result is an extraordinarily powerful, mesmerizing, and matchless visual combination in today's international music industry. Going deeper, if we observe how Jimin interacts with these 3 members backstage, it becomes clear that the visual praise he delivers is rooted in deep affection. Jimin is a person who very frequently pays attention to his friends' appearances, ranging from tidying their clothes before going on stage to giving honest praise when one of them tries a new hairstyle concept or makeup concept. When Jimin praises Junyoung, he sees an older brother figure who always provides comfort and a sense of safety through mature, handsome looks and a humorous personality. When he praises Taehyung, Jimin, who grew up alongside V as same-age friends since school days, deeply understands the emotional journey and visual transformation of his best friend, from an innocent youth into a world fashion idol idolized by many. And when Jimin praises Jungkook, there is a proud older brother's feeling watching his younger brother grow so rapidly and perfectly, both in physical appearance and maturity of thought. Jimin's broad and deep approach proves that the concept of visuals in his eyes is never shallow. Jimin does not view handsome looks merely as a passive photo object, but as a living energy radiated by someone when they feel confident, happy, and comfortable with themselves. Jimin's emotional sensitivity shines through every word he speaks, making the narrative of his assessment feel deeply warm, honest, and touching to anyone who hears it. Moreover, by mentioning 3 names simultaneously, Jimin indirectly celebrates the diversity of stage styles owned by BTS. Jin with his quiet, elegant style, V with his sharp, expressive style full of surprises, and Jungkook with his energetic power that always sets the stage ablaze, all receive a balanced portion of appreciation. This fairness in assessment keeps BTS's internal atmosphere exceptionally conducive and mutually supportive under any circumstances.
Jimin understands well that in an entertainment industry that often emphasizes individual competition, maintaining a sense of unity and mutual admiration is the primary key to the sustainability of a group. Therefore, his actions of constantly embracing his friends' advantages are not merely a form of friendliness, but a clever emotional strategy to maintain the wholeness and harmony of BTS as a solid team. This honest, fair, and affectionate assessment from Jimin ultimately makes fans admire his sweet and gentle-hearted personality even more. Behind his own appearance, which is also incredibly charming and charismatic on stage, Jimin always chooses to place the happiness, harmony, and pride of his brothers above all else, including in simple matters like giving an assessment on who the most handsome member in his group is. Kim Seok-jin chooses himself. This answer, which is extremely signature, full of high self-confidence and always awaited by millions of viewers from Kim Seok-jin, is guaranteed to always succeed in making anyone who hears it laugh endearingly while shaking their heads. With a level of self-confidence sitting at the absolute peak and wrapped very neatly and cleverly through a fresh, relaxed, and entertaining style of humor for the general public, Jin, without the slightest hesitation, points to and chooses himself when asked the question regarding who the most handsome BTS member among the 7 of them is. This explosive, consistent, and unawkward confidence ultimately gave birth to a phenomenal, iconic, and world-renowned moniker in the global entertainment industry: Worldwide Handsome. An identity title that now clings very closely to his public image and is widely acknowledged by millions of global fans across various parts of the world, from Asia, America, Europe, to Australia. However, if we are willing to observe, analyze, and dissect this unique phenomenon more deeply, rationally, and objectively, Jin's decision to choose himself is actually not based at all on a negative trait of vanity, an arrogant sense of superiority, or a desire to look down upon and trivialize the handsome looks of the other members in the group. On the contrary, this unique and bold stance represents a living implementation of the concept of self-love, or the act of loving, respecting, and accepting oneself fully and honestly, packaged in a very clever, relaxed, and entertaining manner for the masses. In the world of modern psychology and human character development, possessing a healthy, stable, mature, and positive level of self-confidence regarding one's physical appearance and self-identity is proven to deliver a massive impact on an individual's mental health and improve the quality of their social interactions with the surrounding environment. Through his actions of constantly praising his own face with a broad smile and steady gaze in front of international television cameras or red carpet events on a global scale, Jin is indirectly teaching a very valuable and profound life lesson to millions of young people and fans worldwide. That lesson is about how to find a fun, positive, and healthy way to accept, admire, and appreciate one's own advantages and beauty without feeling awkward, embarrassed, guilty, or afraid of being judged poorly by others around them. What makes this moment even more interesting, lively, and constantly anticipated by viewers is the extraordinary contrast he always displays immediately after uttering praise over his own handsome looks. Usually, right after Jin states that he is the most handsome person in the world with a face set as seriously as possible, like a professional model, he will instantly perform unexpected silly antics that break the room into laughter. For example, eating large portions of food with a very dramatic and funny expressive style, cracking silly dad jokes that trigger laughter, or showing unique facial expressions that contrast sharply with the image of a top-tier, perfect idol.
This sharp and unique contrast between a perfectly handsome face, like a prince from a fairy tale land, and his deeply humble, friendly, unpretentious, warm, and humor-filled personality is precisely what causes the aesthetic value, charisma, and attraction of Jin to skyrocket even higher and become matchless in the eyes of the public, mass media, and fellow BTS members. Other members like RM, Suga, and J-Hope often cannot hold back their tickled laughter whenever Jin starts praising himself in public or during foreign media interviews. Yet behind that laughter and teasing, all BTS members actually deeply admire and respect how Jin is able to carry the burden and responsibility of being the eldest member in the group in a way that is very light, mature, and enjoyable for everyone. Jin uses this worldwide handsome persona not only as personal entertainment, but also a highly potent social communication tool to break stiff, tense, or awkward atmospheres when they must attend major award shows, international television interviews, or global press conferences. When the atmosphere of an interview with Western media feels very formal, cold, and nerve-wracking, Jin's confident jokes about his handsome looks always succeed in shattering the silence and causing journalists, hosts, and studio audiences to burst into spontaneous laughter. This does not only effectively reduce stress levels and emotional pressure felt by younger BTS members, but also makes their group image feel increasingly friendly, warm, open, human, and very easy to be liked by an international public from diverse cultural backgrounds. Jin proves in real terms that extraordinary physical handsome looks feel far more charming, memorable, and meaningful when balanced with high emotional intelligence, warmth of attitude, and a remarkable ability to laugh at oneself without fear of losing dignity. Jin's choice of himself is a masterpiece of entertainment and communication art that blends natural facial aesthetic beauty with very clever and mature playful humor. This makes it one of the most legendary, iconic, and constantly remembered moments throughout the history of BTS's career journey in the world's music and entertainment industry. Going even further, if we observe Jin's career development over time, the self-confidence he displays has become an extraordinary source of inspiration for ARMY across every corner of the globe. In a modern era where many people often feel insecure due to unrealistic social media beauty and handsome standards, Jin arrives bringing a very strong message of refreshment. He shows that we do not need to wait for praise or validation from others just to feel valuable and handsome or beautiful. Respecting oneself is the very first step toward building solid mental health. Jin does this not in a preachy or poetic manner, but through real actions wrapped in clever humor and cheerfulness. His ability to balance a highly charismatic stage presence with a deeply grounded daily personality makes Jin immensely loved. He never hesitates to look silly in public just to make his younger brothers in the group laugh or to comfort fans who are feeling down. His sincerity in letting go of ego for the happiness of those around him is a form of true handsome looks that transcends mere facial bone structure or outer appearance alone. Jin's dedication to nurturing family relationships within the group is also evident in how he uses these handsome jokes to relieve tension during intensive rehearsals or world tour draining physical work. When everyone feels exhausted and stressed, Jin will casually throw out his confident jokes, instantly restoring smiles and cheerfulness to the other members' faces. This emotional approach proves that Jin is not merely the eldest member based on age, but also a very wise pillar supporting team harmony. Jin's handsome looks are not only reflected in the worldwide handsome title he champions, but in the kindness of heart, sincerity, care, and extraordinary work professionalism that he continuously demonstrates since early debut up to the present day. This perfect combination of extraordinary physical aesthetics, emotional intelligence, warmth of personality, and deep humility is what makes Jin's choice of himself feel so fitting, accurate, high value, and always successful in captivating the heart of anyone who knows him. Number 1. V chooses Jungkook.
Arriving at the top position of this entire series of unique choices, we have V, or Kim Taehyung, who surprisingly, sweetly, and meaningfully chooses the youngest member in the group, Jungkook, as the most handsome member, according to his personal view and assessment. This choice delivered by V becomes a topic of conversation that is extremely interesting, weighty, full of aesthetic value, and carries a deeply profound meaning if we closely examine the background of the figure delivering the assessment. V himself is a global idol who has repeatedly been named, officially recognized, and placed at the top rank as one of the most handsome-faced men in the entire world by various prominent fashion magazines, international news publications, top lifestyle magazines, and independent global aesthetic survey institutions. When someone who is officially recognized and worshipped by the world public as the absolute peak of international visual standards sincerely and without hesitation points to and chooses another member as a figure who is more handsome and charming than himself, it indirectly demonstrates how extraordinary, special, and matchless the level of handsome looks owned by Jungkook is. On several occasions in media interviews and casual conversations regarding visual aesthetics and stage presence, V has openly stated his immense admiration and pride over the physical transformation and rapid growth of Jungkook over time. V witnessed and accompanied directly how Jungkook transformed from a young boy who had a very innocent, cute, endearing, and purity-filled face during their early debut era into a mature man who radiates an aura of handsome looks that is highly masculine, strong, dignified, sharp, and filled with certainty alongside mature self-confidence. Jungkook is equipped with a combination of physical features that are considered extremely rare, unique, and perfect in the global entertainment industry, namely, a very harmonious blend of clear, round eyes radiating a friendly, warm, honest, and approachable impression, a very sharp and masculine lower jawline, a high symmetrical nose, and a body physique that is very athletic, dignified, and proportional as a result of his. Number 1. V chooses Jungkook. Arriving at the top position of this entire series of unique choices, we have V, or Kim Taehyung, who surprisingly, sweetly, and meaningfully chooses the youngest member in the group, Jungkook, as the most handsome member, according to his personal view and assessment. This choice delivered by V becomes a topic of conversation that is extremely interesting, weighty, full of aesthetic value, and carries a deeply profound meaning if we closely examine the background of the figure delivering the assessment. V himself is a global idol who has repeatedly been named, officially recognized, and placed at the top rank as one of the most handsome-faced men in the entire world by various prominent fashion magazines, international news publications, top lifestyle magazines, and independent global aesthetic survey institutions. When someone who is officially recognized and worshipped by the world public as the absolute peak of international visual standards sincerely and without hesitation points to and chooses another member as a figure who is more handsome and charming than himself, it indirectly demonstrates how extraordinary, special, and matchless the level of handsome looks owned by Jungkook is. On several occasions in media interviews and casual conversations regarding visual aesthetics and stage presence, V has openly stated his immense admiration and pride over the physical transformation and rapid growth of Jungkook over time. V witnessed and accompanied directly how Jungkook transformed from a young boy who had a very innocent, cute, endearing, and purity-filled face during their early debut era into a mature man who radiates an aura of handsome looks that is highly masculine, strong, dignified, sharp, and filled with certainty alongside mature self-confidence. Jungkook is equipped with a combination of physical features that are considered extremely rare, unique, and perfect in the global entertainment industry, namely, a very harmonious blend of clear, round eyes radiating a friendly, warm, honest and approachable impression, a very sharp and masculine lower jawline, a high symmetrical nose, and a body physique that is very athletic, dignified, and proportional as a result of his discipline and passion for regular workout routines. In the world of visual arts, mass media aesthetics, modern face design theory, and cinematography, this unique combination of approachable facial features with a masculine, solid jawline and body structure is often regarded as the most perfect, universal, timeless form of physical attraction that can be easily accepted by various age groups and cultural backgrounds across the globe. V, who is known by the public and fans to possess very high artistic sensitivity, sharp aesthetic taste, artistic thinking, and a deep love for the worlds of photography, fashion styling, fine arts, and design, sees that Jungkook's body and facial features possess an extraordinarily rare and ideal visual balance when in front of cameras. The way Jungkook presents himself on stage while executing complex and energetic song choreography, combined with exploding charisma and a stage energy that is so powerful and dominant, further elevates the visual aesthetic value of the maknae in V's eyes. This sincere and honest assessment coming from V serves as a beautiful and touching real proof regarding how high the mutual admiration, respect, love, and support among BTS members truly is. Within this music group, there is absolutely no room for unhealthy competition, jealousy, or personal ego regarding who should be the most prominent or handsome figure in the eyes of the public and mass media. Instead, they always utilize every available opportunity to deliver appreciation, sincere praise, and encouraging support for the advantages, talents, and beauty owned by their own brothers within the group. Going even further, if we observe the relationship between V and Jungkook, who are often affectionately addressed by fans, one can see how tight the emotional bond between the two has been since the early days of their careers. As the two youngest members in the group, V and Jungkook grew up together, passed through various phases of adulthood dynamics, and mutually influenced each other in terms of music taste, fashion style, and ways of expressing themselves on stage. V, possessing a highly expressive and experimental artistic soul, frequently views Jungkook as a figure capable of executing various visual concepts perfectly. Whether appearing in casual, relaxed clothing styles, cool street style, or highly elegant formal suits, Jungkook always succeeds in displaying a portion of handsome looks that is just right and never excessive. This advantage of Jungkook in V's eyes is a natural strength that is very difficult for others to replicate. Beyond mere external physical aspects, V also greatly admires the extraordinary work ethic and discipline shown by Jungkook in maintaining his physical fitness and appearance quality. Jungkook is known as a very meticulous and hardworking figure who is never satisfied with mediocre results. Jungkook's dedication to vocal practice, dancing, and maintaining his physical form through weight training and martial arts adds an extra dimension to his handsome looks. Jungkook's handsome looks are not just a matter of birth or genetic luck, but the result of hard work, discipline, and high dedication to always deliver the best for his group. V deeply understands and respects this long process, making his praise for Jungkook feel very weighty and meaningful. On the other hand, V's choice of Jungkook also reveals how mature V's thinking is as a visual artist. V does not get trapped in his own ego, despite his name being worshipped worldwide as an international handsome standard. He open-heartedly and proudly points to his younger brother as the most charming figure in his eyes. This humble attitude shown by V actually makes his own handsome aura and charisma shine even stronger in the eyes of fans and the general public. This proves that a man who is truly confident and possesses a mature soul will never hesitate to acknowledge and praise the advantages of others around him. Ultimately, this entire series of choices from each BTS member provides a deeply valuable and inspiring reflection and conclusion for all of us, that the concept of true handsome looks is not merely about a symmetrical facial line, a high sharp nose, charming eye shape, or outer physical perfection alone. Far beyond that, true handsome looks are about how natural charisma, warmth of personality, humility, hard work, emotional intelligence, and healthy self-confidence can radiate in a balanced and harmonious way from within a person, creating a timeless charm and attraction that will never fade with the passage of time.